Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
I'm home, honey.
Hello guys, and welcome to today's episode. I am in the city of Pueblo, Colorado, and I'm headed down the road because I heard that somewhere down this way there's an antique mall and there's some collectible shops. And when you're driving down the interstate, why not take the turn off, stop at some of the towns along the way and check out some things, have an adventure. So we're going to do a little walkthrough around an antique mall, see what type of antiques are hiding in Pueblo, and maybe find a couple treasures. Let's check it out. I have found myself on South Union Street, and it's your typical kind of heritage buildings, 1900s, Wild West looking, you know, like the last thing you would have seen before you hit the Oregon Trail. Well, maybe not. Let's hope not. Let's hope I don't have the same fate as I'm walking around. But right up there, I see a red, white, and blue sign, which, albeit American colors, is in the shape of a French flag. We're going to go in there and do a little walkabout. Today's adventure brings us to Cotton's Antique Emporium. They're open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5, and even on Sundays. We're gonna head on in and see what they have. The first thing that strikes me when I walk in is that this is an old building. It's gotta be about 100 years old, like an old department store, and it is cram-packed full of stuff. Nicely laid out, and oftentimes you find in the antique malls there's vendors and they have different things that they like giftware and glassware. And although those items can sell, it's a little difficult hauling that back in a bag. I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for the usual things: old oil cans, old toy cars, wristwatches, things of that nature, maybe something historical or cool. So we'll do a little walk around and we'll see what we can find. There's always something neat to be found at an antique mall. We got some nice jewelry in there. Pretty big stones too. Especially if you find sterling. Sometimes you can look in these little jars. Jar of jewelry. And look, there's all sorts of costume jewelry in there. Some crystal bracelets and rings and necklaces. You know, for 20 bucks, that's kind of a cool grab bag. Here's a booth that catches my eye. You've got the old games, you've got some old toys and trucks. That's a nice Hubley wrecker truck. $115 is a fair retail price on that. I'm always hoping to find them when, you know, you can find them still in somebody's basement, or, you know, maybe find a box of them for a fair price. That is an old Disney school lunch kit. $65. That would date to probably the 1960s, maybe even late 50s. Orange Crush cans, and who do they have on them? Football players, the Denver Broncos. Or does that make sense, being that we're in the Colorado area right now? You're going to see a lot of Broncos stuff. And probably a lot of Broncos fans. There's a little Pepsi chalkboard right there. I think that's a replica though. It's painted on wood. Normally something like that would have been made of tin, so it could be hung up in a restaurant and used over and over and over again. And it looks like 20% off everything in this space. So if I do see something, well, I guess there's an extra 20% off. So to keep my eyes open. Sometimes the hard thing for me is that I'm looking for that needle in a haystack, that one thing that I'm never going to see anywhere else, something really unique and different, you know. And you can find artist-made dolls. I mean, that's a one-off sort of thing. But stuff that's not local to my area will always sell better. So I always try and keep my eyes open for the more unusual or the local things here, like an oil can or tobacco can from this area. You wouldn't see that back home. Just like when you go to the coast and you bring back ship memorabilia, like, you know, shipped wheels and nautical stuff back to the prairies. Well, people in the prairies buy it because you just don't see it that often. It's the same kind of thing out here. I'm looking for something cool that maybe I won't find back home. Some nice milk glass, little sailor doll. They used to actually sell those little sailor dolls on ships. When you went on a steamship or something on a holiday, they'd have that like in the gift shop. I have one from the SS America that I have kept at my house. The SS America is a big shipwreck On the coast. It looks like the Titanic. It's kind of crazy. I really think it's neat having something from that ship, considering it's such an iconic wreck. Most of it's fallen into the sea now, though. Keep looking about. There's bound to be a booth here that has the type of stuff I'm looking for, and I guess just keep on looking. Worked my way to the upper level, and we've got toasters, household stuff. You can always get an idea what the vendors like because they carry similar things. As I've learned, of course, Pyrex is a really big collectible. And I met my brother the other day, Steve, for the first time. He tells me he's got a basement full of Pyrex left over from his mom. It's so hard not trying to buy stuff everywhere I go, but maybe down the road I can help him sell his Pyrex. There's certain patterns that are worth more than others. I'm just having a good look, a good overview to see what sort of things. There's a little Art Deco teapot, pretty cute. Has like a fruit sort of floral pattern on the top of it. It's an old cookie jar. Kind of neat. The prices aren't so bad. And keep wandering all the way down. Another booth with 20% off. It's always nice to get the little extra bonus. That looks like a little football, but I think that's a Jell-O mold, is what that is. I never understood why they put salad inside a Jell-O. What a way to ruin a perfectly good dessert. There's not too much in this little booth over here, but I am walking over and see that there is a old Plymouth Fury police car in the box. Model kit, unbuilt. That's pretty neat. Like the graphics on these old boxes. Oh, I should totally get this. When I'm calling the kids in for dinner. Hello. That or a big giant triangle. Boy, there was a time I was looking for Pyrex for Melissa to complete her Amish butter print set, which I don't see any here. And they've just got Pyrex all over the place. Why, you can't turn a corner without finding walls of Pyrex. Oh, it's neat because it's collectible. You can still use it. Looks nice on a shelf. And we have open shelves in our kitchen, and the nice thing about it is you put a nice set of Pyrex like that out, it's a display piece, it looks nice, and later on you can put your food in it. Little Tonka Bronco here, $75, beautiful condition. I haven't seen the red one before. I had the brown one just like that. I used to sit on it and ride it down a hill when I was a kid, and it lasted because old stuff, well, it lasts. So here's some old bottles, early bottles. This is really cool. This whole bin is full of old racing paraphernalia, brochures, things from racetracks. You know, Pikes Peak, not that far from here, hill climbing. So midget auto racing, all stuff that, you know, that is something I wouldn't see back home too often. And I have a friend who owns a couple old midget racers. He'd probably think that's a really neat item. Try and bring that back maybe. Sometimes I can get carried away with the dad jokes, and people often call me, can't remember what's the name for it. Can't remember what they call me, but I know I don't like it. Anyway, I'm gonna get back in the car now, and we're gonna keep on trucking and see what else we can find. Walked down the street from Cottons, so we found another antique mall with all sorts of vendors. I'm gonna do a walkabout in here and see what they've got too. This seems to be a 2 or 3 story building, so potentially a lot more than the other shop, but let's do a walk around and see. I started with the basement because, I don't know, why not? Maybe there's something about me, I just like to go to the basements of places first and scrounge around, but there are vendors all over the place, and I can tell this mall has a little bit more of the toys, a little bit less of the housewares, some sporting memorabilia. So we'll look and see if we can find something cool while we're here. Sometimes I have to be careful what I show on camera at these places because some vendors sell some things that are a little bit naughty. Bum, bum, bum. Gotta have a dad joke in here once in a while. I'm gonna head up the stairs and see what they got going on the main floor. Here's a booth with some newer collectibles, but also some classic ones too. You've got the 1980s G.I. Joe headquarters in the original box, the tactical battle platform, Ninja Turtles on their card. It's like my childhood here. Star Wars case. It's always nice if they were full. Dagobah playset. That's pretty cool. Lots of neat 1980s things. Of course, the cases are empty. I found one of these that was still, when I was doing that house renovation in Provost, the little general store in that town still had one of these things there since the 80s. Of course, I bought it. Found some newer Hot Wheels, none of the older stuff that I'm after. But I will keep looking because that's what you do. You keep looking and poking around till you find that needle in a haystack you're looking for. There are many collectors of these. These are what they call suicide knobs. They attach onto a steering wheel, and it was meant to help you kind of help turn the wheel. They used them on tractors. You can see really fancy ones that were meant for cars, and they're usually Bakelite or plastic, Catalan, really neat. So the plain ones like that, not as collectible, but perhaps there's going to be some that are a little bit more ornate if I keep looking about. We are walking. I say we because my sister's with me. She doesn't want to be on camera. But I saw, oh, Red's Pawn Shop. Let's go check that out. And the cigar sign, like, these are really cool signs. But then I realized there's no pawn shop. They've just taken a lot of the old signs from around town and stuck them down this alley just for show. But something looked cool at the end there. I don't know what it is. Somebody has a building covered in old signs and movie posters right there. I'm gonna walk down there and check that out. It's kind of strange to me that they made the alley interesting. They've got all these old signs. I'm in an alley. This is not a main road, and the backs of the buildings are highly decorated. There's really cool old motel signs. I mean, look at the back of it. We're gonna walk up there and have a look, but I can see DeSoto Plymouth. That's like pretty valuable old sign right there. Same thing with the 7-Up bottle. The Uncola sign. They got some valuable stuff. Sunoco neon. And over on this side, you've got Atomic Candy up at the top there. Look, all the backs of these buildings are just completely plastered with really cool old signs. Why though? Will I ever figure out why? That's the question. Somebody from Pueblo. Oh, look, there's Batman and Robin going up the side of the building. That's neat. You got a big giant pencil for somebody's pencil product shop. Oh, that's a pricey one right there. That's your Pegasus from, oh my goodness. My mind has gone blank in terms of the service station, but these big old Shell gasoline clamshell neons, those are multi-thousands of dollars just hanging out in the alley. Well, even the Mona Lisa. But, you know, it's really weird because you can take in the site and enjoy it and everything, and there's lots of neat stuff, but it smells like a dumpster back here. So we're gonna keep walking. Walking around the street on the other side, and I found, okay, well, there's Scott Office Products. That's what we saw that neon sign from, and if I look up, that's where the neon sign was. It's been taken off of those mounts, and they just put a big wooden pencil up there instead. So maybe somebody bought it, or they asked if we'll put it in their little display in the back alley there, but I'm guessing that's exactly where that sign was for many, many years. And it got moved around the corner. Didn't go far. Lots of fun stuff to see in there. A ton of great Pyrex. If I wasn't traveling, I'd probably be able to find a few more things. However, I did come across this vintage midget racing brochure from the Joliet Racing Association. And you know what? My friend Kelly owns a couple of these cars. I think he'd really love to have that. So thanks very much for watching my short visit here, walking through the antique shop. Hope you'll tune in for more episodes. And I'm going to keep wandering down the street and see what else is around here. We'll see you soon, and bye for now.